So today we're going to be looking at SBCs. We've had a few icons go, a lot of SBCs just absolutely disappear, and the question is still, who should you actually complete? Now, let's just go straight through the icons, because they're the easiest ones to go through, I find, because at this point we have so many upgrade packs already. When you look at the 88 heroes, we look at the 87 icons that have just been unlimited and slowly increasing as we go through. There's kind of very little reason for SBCs at this point. Evolutions, in general, we have got so many. Then granted, yes, a lot of them are paid for. So that, again, is kind of the problem that we have got. But when you can get someone like the General onto Rijkaard that maybe you had in your club from ages ago. You got a Patrick that you can now get a 91. What's the point upgrading cards if we know their upgrade from an evolution is coming very, very soon? Obviously leading us into icons, we've obviously missed out on now Stoichkov, Carlos Alberto, Patrick, Ronaldinho and Jairzinho have now left, which remains with a few of some of the decent ones. Now, I think there's definitely some that are going to be very interesting just to have in the club as a potential. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. But I'm kind of now missed to know who really is a must complete in this. I'd probably say still at this point, especially at this point now, I would personally go with Bale as still one of the best must completes that you can go with. Casillas, I think, is coming in at a decent value with his 280. Abile, 790. At this point in the game, you know what, she's probably is still decent value. She did come in with a lot of decent play styles, and in general she's going to be a nice upgraded card eventually, which then leads us to obviously the Matthiases. We've got at 1.7, solid player, will do with an upgrade at some point. I don't think we had another upgrade, as I said. I don't think we've had another upgrade for him yet, so still respectable price for what we're paying, and this is the highest version of him that we can get. I would say at this point now that's coming in more towards the okay value, but it's 1.7 that is going to be worth the future upgrade. We know already once we get that 93, 94 evolution, that's going to be almost a 2 mil card. So it would be potentially in the future Evo, but you could still use him right now, to be honest. Which then leads us to a few of the ones that I'm just kind of a bit iffy on. A bit of Georgie Best at this point at 1 mil. I think he's okay, but realistically, them Playstyle Pluses for me are just not going to be enough to warrant it. Same with Van Persie at this point now. 450, I'd probably go with the miss. With the strikers that we've got, unfortunately, he would be one of them ones. I do like Pirlo. I think for 330, little bit cheaper, comes in the midfield. I think he's got an option. We've got so many strikers this year, and arguably centre mids as well, but Pirlo is a different sort of centre mid as well. We then come in with a Torres. I think he's the better one in my opinion. I think having that rapid in the finesse is going to be slightly better. It's coming in a tad bit cheaper. I'd go solid value for him. Schweinsteiger, I'd do the exact same. I think he's a nice card, but at 630, other than the fact that no other icon is going to have that design, because obviously he was from the FC Pro Open, then that's kind of a collector's value, but realistically, I'm not too fussed about that. Obviously, Kluivert's going to go in a no for me, even with the price being a bit cheaper. I'm not a fan of him personally. Obviously, then we got Hullet. I think is incredible value as a future Evo potential. That is going to be an incredible card. I'd go okay value for the card right now, but realistically, he's going to be in that future Evo. Like 90 rated, he is just on the cusp. Having the aerial already, if we could get an intercept, incisive, finesse, quick step, like there's so many options you could go with him, meaning that the Playstyle Plus for the second and then maybe even the third could come very, very quickly. We then have Maldini. I personally like him for $1 million. I think Maldini's great in game and he's so easy to play with as well. Ashley Cole coming in at 540. We've obviously got Bergkamp at 150 and then Essien at 980. Now, I personally do like Essien. I know a lot of people got a bit of backlash for saying Essien was kind of in that top meta, and maybe, yes, maybe top meta might be a bit of a stretch, but most definitely a very, very usable character, like incredible in that defensive role. And I don't know if you've ever used Essien. He is very good at that role. Obviously, Bergkamp, I think even for the price, he would be fodder more than anything. He's just never really one of them that works, in my opinion. And then Ashley Cole would kind of go into that okay value. Which then moves us on to the normal players. Now, again, we've only got 2 pages. We've the brand new ones. We're looking at, obviously, Tevez, it's because I can see him over there. Tevez and Suarez we've managed to get. And this is the problem with the icons. Like, we look at Suarez, even with the quick step finesse, maybe in the off league, but 5-star, 160,000. He's got to be very easy to link with a lot of different icons and different special cards we've got. So I don't understand why he's so much cheaper than some of the strikers we have got. Tevez, 340. Again, coming in very nice. Maybe not the right playstyle pluses, but still works out pretty well. But if we look at the player of the month, unfortunately the likes of Guriassi is going to be more fodder, if anything. There's not really going to be too much to him. Obviously, Monday, going to be exactly the same as well. And then we also do have Salah, brand new into it. He's obviously coming in at 776,000 coins. It's not a bad price. Like when you look at the Salah cards, it's not awful. We've got a lot to choose from. And I think the point is, if you're looking at Salah, you either go from the bog standard gold and get no dynamic on him, and you kind of bring him up through the ratings there, because now he can go into evolutions, or you start at one of these points. Unless you've got the team of the year, then fair enough, this is not going to apply to you. But you could have started at the 90 player of the month, which, to be fair, might not have been a bad shout. And this is what I was saying with the player of the month. The big thing with him is he's got the finesse shot already. So if you have this 90, you have a potential to almost wait for that rapid plus, wait for that quick step, wait for that whipped pass. Now you've got pinged pass on him. I'm not going to say it's awful, because it's manageable, but it's not the greatest you could go for. You've got finesse on the Globetrotter, you've got finesse on this inform, you've got finesse on this inform. Yes, you've only got a 3-star, 4-star, but it's still pinged pass. You could go for so much better for him. You obviously look at this version with a finesse, rapid, and trickster. At least he's got the rapid. The pinged pass was literally just I'm not going to evolve him anytime soon. So for me, as a card, is incredible. Obviously, Salah is a very, very good right wing in the Prem. The best, in fact, in terms of Prem. But I think having that pinged pass would take him away from the must complete for me. I would personally go with this 89 and go into another evolution that way. I don't think he's got any that he can go into at the moment, but there was definitely a few that he could have gone with. Obviously, could have gone power shot, could have gone even first touch. There will definitely be a rapid or a quick step at some point for the 89, and then obviously going into the 90 as well. But I think for me, the pinged pass, unfortunately, just isn't the one to go for. Which then leads us into Kolomoane. Now, obviously with him, he has got 2 different different SBCs out at the same time. Now, 642, it's a good card. It's a solid card, to say the least. The problem you've got is, like we've suggested with a lot of these evolutions, you could make a better card. Now, granted, you could use this one, or you could go with this one instead. Now, I don't know if it's expired now, but this was what I was on about prior. He's coming in at like 90,000 coins. You could throw him into the Finesse Express, which has expired now, but that gives him the Finesse Shot Plus. So he's got Quick Step and Finesse. And then from there, you've already got a 90 with a 4-4 in comparison to what we see on this one. There's 1s and a couple of 3s. We've got the better playstyle pluses. We've got the 4-4, which is only a 5-4 anyway. And he's got the first touch rather than the finesse. I think for me, both of the SBCs are okay value. And yes, you can, if you don't have that Thunderstruck, going for the fantasy is fine. Like, obviously, this one's going to be in PSG as well. But you could do exactly the same here and put him as a 90. You don't even need to use a Finesse Express for this one, because obviously, he's already got the double playstyle plus. So I could just go and upgrade him here if I really wanted to, or wait for another upgrade and save myself 600,000 coins practically. So I think for me, I would go Kolo Muani. He's obviously going to be a future Evo on that one. For the 91, I would go for what we've got in terms of the card as okay value. As not everybody wants to do the Evo, so that's fair enough. But I wouldn't necessarily say decent value in comparison to what you can get from that card. Obviously, Sanchit's going to be in fodder, which leads us into a few of the flashback / player moments. And also Rafinha, because why not? 90 rated Rafinha is obviously coming in with a price tag. I can't even remember what his price, 440. Now, for me, I think that's not terrible for the Barca guy, especially when you're looking at the upgrade for him. I think that for me is just okay. I wouldn't say anything more crazy. I'd arguably even say miss with what cards we have got on that right wing, but Barcelona getting the World Tour card, I can see why people would want to collect that one personally. Some of the flashbacks then, or I don't know, these are flashbacks, aren't they? We've obviously got Rolfo at 539. We've then got CR7 at 2.1. We've got Da Costa at 35. And then we've got Pope. I'm pretty sure he was quite cheap. He's coming in at 46. And then obviously Suarez at 165. Now, you've got an option here, because I think for me, Da Costa goes into the fodder. Rolfo goes into, I would say, the okay value. I think they're trying to force her a bit too much at this point. Wait till footers and give her an incredible card. I just don't think she fits in this year. CR7, easily the best choice I ever made. Incredible striker. If you get him and Bale together, honestly, that is going to be a nuts partnership. Pope, incredible value. As a card, as a keeper, brilliant. I think even arguably you could go in must complete for him for just the price that you've got with the outlay if you want to try and change your keeper. And then I'd go with Suarez into the decent value at the absolute minimum, because I think he's a great card. He's got great playstyle pluses, but he will have issues where you will possibly have struggles to link him if you're obviously not going for an MLS partnership or obviously got many icons in your team. Which leads us to some of the FUT birthdays now. We've got Rodman at 167, solid. Tevez at 350, Adeyemi at 460, Yaya Toure at 2 million, 66 for Ethan, 140 for Future. A double centre-back partnership between Tapsoba's choices at 160, Pop at 92, Scott at 150, and Havertz at 930. Now, Havertz for me, I think as a striker is okay value. As a centre mid, I think it's decent. Scott, I would say okay value as well. Future, exactly the same. Pop, I would be looking more on obviously kind of a fodder basis. Adeyemi, I think has that option that over the kind of middle SBCs, I would possibly put him more on top than anybody. Rodman, I would say the same. Tevez, I would say the same. Ethan, unfortunately, is going to be more fodder. He could be a future evolution if you're looking to bring a brother partnership together at some point. And I think even Tapsoba, solid card for 150, but he'd need an upgrade at some point. So fodder or miss, or potentially going into a future Evo. And then with Yaya Toure, he's such a tough one, because 2 million is very, very expensive. And he is a very good card. I just think the price is a bit excessive, especially when he doesn't have any defensive playstyles. He's got the finesse, the power shot, the incisive, the flair, the press, the trivela, and he does have a bruiser plus. But not having a single defensive playstyle, it is just going to be a bit of an issue. I think that especially being more of a DM, and I know he's got more shooting, he's going to have that bully mentality and he's going to be good. But I would personally not say put in 2 million coins into him. I would put him decent value because he's incredible of a card. But there is going to be better out there for cheaper, in my opinion. There just is. There's so many CDMs you can go from evolutions to previous SBCs to cards that are just on the market. There's so many options you can go with. I personally wouldn't say he's a must complete in my option anyway. But let me know down below what you think. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I will catch you all for the next one. Peace.